And so, my dear ones, in this very full Sunday morning, here we are moving ahead into an understanding that is much more rich and deep than ever we've had before of what it is to be a prosperous being, looking at the law of prosperity, what it is to be a prosperous being. And as you know by now, you know that prosperity is more than just about stuff and things and money and all the things of material life and existence. It's so much more than that. Prosperity is a feeling of richness and fullness, and it's a feeling of goodness and excitement and energy and oh gee, isn't it great to be alive? That's what prosperity is. And isn't it wonderful? I woke up into a new day today. Oh my goodness, any great good thing could happen in this new day today. Any great good thing could happen. Any change could take place. Anything I could release if I wanted to, anything I could draw to myself if I wanted to, anything at all of good could happen today. Every single day when I wake up, I can know this. That's prosperity in action. That's prosperity in energy moving through me, knowing that I'm here to experience the fullness of a great good life. The fullness of a great good life, that's what prosperity is. And so you know, and I know too, many of us by now, that out of this thing called divine substance, which is pure consciousness, all things flow, all things are created out of pure consciousness. Divine substance itself. Divine substance itself is that divine stuff out of which everything is made. It's shot through with pure consciousness, pure consciousness. And so we're here today to understand that a bit more fully. Never mind looking at the word prosperity. We don't get it unless we get an understanding of the fact that all of life is divine substance in expression. And in that expression of divine substance, there's this pure consciousness. It's in you, it's in me. It's all around you, it's all about you, it's everywhere present. That's what omnipresence means. And within that is all power, all magnificence and omnipresence within that pure consciousness. And you can access it and I can access it because we already have it. We're already in it. We're already part and parcel of it. Take the hologram again. I love the hologram. You let that ball smash on the floor and every little piece contains within it the whole hologram. The whole hologram is contained within every little piece of that. So you and I are the macro to the micro. That's what we are. And the only difference between the fullness of Godhood and you and I is a matter of degree of consciousness. To the degree of consciousness that you and I are awake and alert, to that degree will we know ourselves to be that much of the infinite, that much of divine substance and expression, that much of pure consciousness expressing. And that is what prosperity is all about. It's all about. And what is the intent of divine substance, we ask ourselves today? What is the intent of pure consciousness today? It's always been the one thing. It's always been the same. Yesterday, today, and it will be forever. That you may have life and have it in abundance, that your joy may be complete, and that you may know the peace that passes understanding. Because you can, because it's within you to have joy complete, the fullness and plenty of life, and a peace that passes understanding. It's within you. We have the ability, the capability of that, achieving that. It is real. It is truly real. And you can look into the lives of some people and you can see they're doing it beautifully. They're succeeding beautifully in this way. And they don't have to worry and think about where their bread for tomorrow is going to come from or any other material need that they might need to be flourishing and thriving in this life. Because they're always in the moment, they're always grateful in the moment, and they're always knowing that divine providence produces and that the source of our good is always willing to provide us and is ever giving to us our good. But you and I have to participate in the process. It is a process. There's a giving and there's a receiving. And if I don't receive, then the action of that is incomplete. There is no gift without a receiver to receive it. It cannot be received if there's no receiver to receive it. So today, really and truly, the focus is on our open receptivity to the true essence and the true being of our lives, and to know ourselves as divine substance in form, to know ourselves as pure consciousness in form, to know ourselves with the capability and the responsibility of letting ourselves be the outlet of all of that good. That's what prosperity is all about. And that is the process. The process is always this, as far as pure consciousness is concerned: cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. What you sow, you reap, cause and effect, the law of attraction. I attract into myself what I'm causing to happen in my life through the way I'm thinking, through the way I'm feeling, and through the way I'm behaving. I cause something because of that. And then there's an effect to that. Cause and effect. You sow and you reap and you sow. You sow and you reap. There's no getting away from it. That's the process of pure consciousness. The intent of pure consciousness is clear: that you may have life and have it in abundance, that your joy may be complete, and that you may know the peace that passes understanding. The process is cause and effect. Cause and effect. You see, each and every one of us came in here as a seed of the divine, a seed of the divine. And your responsibility and my responsibility is to grow like a seed will grow into fruition, Now, just as a tree, the seed of a tree will grow up into a tree, you know what happens then? One tree, out of one tree, a whole forest can be created. Out of one tree, a whole forest can be generated. Out of one good deed, a whole harvest of great good deeds can be gathered through you and me. The process of creation is the same for everything, every single thing, because everything that comes out of divine substance is seed form. And the process again for this happening is evolution. The seed evolves into a small, beautiful plant. Then it grows and it grows and it grows, and before you know it, it's a tree. The tree comes to ripeness, and with the ripeness comes wondrous new seeds. And out of the wondrous new seeds come the forest. It's the same with you, it's the same with me. The seed of a good idea, the seed of a good thought, the seed of a good deed, once taken care of properly, like the seeds in the forests, they can all grow up into this amazing harvest of great good that brings you a sense of prosperity, of fullness, of plenty, of ripeness, of growth, of planting and sowing and reaping, and planting and sowing and reaping. And what do we do at harvest? We share, we give from the fullness of the harvest that we have received. That's been in our DNA since time immemorial. In a way, that's the old concept of tithing. We give of our plenty, we give of our fullness. And that is like the piece of yeast that you always keep to do the next batch of dough. It's a good name, dough. It produces dough. Out of this comes a whole lot of dough from those bakeries, I'm telling you. And so you and I have that capability, but we have to catch the consciousness of the energy that it takes to truly be alive to our living, to be present to our living, to be in the moment, to be open and receptive to being excited about growing this seed. You get your good idea. It's a great idea. It's a terrific idea. And then you sow your seed and you do everything you can to nurture it with this in mind. I know that seed will come to fruition. There's no doubt in my mind that that won't grow into that good thing that I have visioned and imagined, because it wasn't really me who envisaged it on my own. It was a divine idea in me that trickled into me, and I thought it was my idea. So I think, oh, well, that's a good one. And we work on it. Always. The infinite beingness of you is desiring something good to happen through you. Always, always. without ceasing. It neither slumbers nor sleeps who guards Israel. Israel is your consciousness. Israel is your consciousness. It neither slumbers nor sleeps. It's always on guard. It's always watching over and watching through. It's always, always on the creative side of life. It always wants to be in a creative flow by means of you. Something creative by means of you and by means of me is offered to you all the time. But for that to happen, you and I have to be listening. You have to be tuned in, and I have to be tuned in. I have to be quiet. I have to be still. I have to shut out the noise of all the material world so that I can benefit from all of the richness and fullness and completeness of the inner world, wherein all is available. All good is available. And you get to tap into it, and I get to tap into it. And no one of us has any advantage over anyone else. No one of us has. No one of us has more of this than anyone else. No one of us is less than anyone else. We all have the same possibility. We are infinite possibility, unlimited possibility. And as Ernest Holmes said, yours and mine is the privilege of giving birth to this limitless possibility. That's prosperity. That's richness. That's wealth. It's wealth of mind. It's wealth of emotion. It's wealth of energy. Energy. That is true wealth. It has nothing to do with stuff and things and bubbles and bangles and beads and coins and notes and checks and all of that. Nothing. That's just a periphery. That's just an outcome. It's just an effect of what I have caused. You have the power to cause any great good thing in your life, whether it has to do with your health, whether it has to do with your wealth, whether it has to do with your loving relationships, whether it has to do with your creative expression. You have the power, you have the magnificence, you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you have within you that ability to know yourself as you are known in truth by Spirit, the creator of it all. You have that within you, and how dare any one of us deny it? The only thing you and I must deny is our nothingness, the thing we think about ourselves. I'm nothing, I'm no one, I'm no one. We deny that. You get to deny your nothingness, but you never get to deny your greatness, your wholeness, your fullness, your sovereignty, your power. You never get to deny that, and neither do I, and yet we do it all the time, every time. We moan, groan, bellyache, complain. Every time we tell ourselves a negative, every time we tell ourselves it's not working, every time we tell ourselves I can't do it, every time we tell ourselves, but it's not for me, I'm not good enough. Every time we tell ourselves, oh no, I don't have it going for me the way he has it going for me. I don't have what she has. I'm just me and I cannot do it. How dare we? How dare we, as my mother would say, fly in God's face in that way? How dare we do that? It's time, my dear ones, it's time. You're all here because it's time for you and for me to rise up in the sovereign love and kindness and goodness and compassion and generosity of spirit, and get out there and unify and harmonize all that we see of dissonance in the world today, because we can. That's prosperity. That's a sense of wealth and richness and fullness. You can always say, I'm rich. You can always say, I'm wealthy. You can always say, I am enough. Always. And we must, because if we don't, then we're saying that spirit within us is not enough. And that is so not true. And that causes us to be upset. It sickens us. It causes us to be aggrieved. It causes us to suffer and be in sorrow and sadness. It causes us to deplete ourselves of our life energy, and the life energy in all of life too, every time we don't know and forget who and what we are. This is what happens. Will we make mistakes? Yes, we'll make mistakes. Will we bungle it at times? Yes, we'll bungle it at times. But we'll have each other to remind each other, this is not who you are. This is not you. This is not the real you, and you know it's not the real you, and you know you don't really believe that, and you know that's not what you want, and you know you don't want to hang on to grouses and grudges and all of that. You know that because you know it's not good for you. You know it's harming you. You know it's not your truth. We need to do that kindly with each other. We have to stop bashing each other. We have to stop, annoying and irritating each other. We have to stop taking out our own sense of not being enough on other people. We have to stop that. We have to stop thinking all the bad things when we could be thinking of one good thing. So instead of thinking of all the bad things which deplete us of our richness about ourselves or anybody else, let's start thinking, let's just find one good thing, just one good thing, just one little tiny good thing to begin with. It would be the seed that would sow a wonderful growth into a harvest of great good things, you see. That's how it works. No use talking about come to this seminar and learn how to grow rich, learn how to have money in the bank and a great portfolio. You know what? That's fun and it's doable, but it's not the thing itself. The portfolio you and I are interested in is why we're here. It's the one we get to take with us into our next experience, and it has nothing to do with anything material, and it has everything to do with the true essence of being. All of my goodness and my kindness and all of my generosity, that's what's recorded in that and makes it fat. That's what goes with me into the next life. All of the love I have received and all of the love I have given, that's what goes with me into the next life. That's rich. That's wealth, that's fullness. That's what gives us the hop, skip, and jump in our step. That's what gets us up off of our chairs of sorrow and sadness. That's what gets us up out of our pity parties. That's what gets us through terrific challenges. And God knows we all have challenges in our lives, and living, no one escapes planet Earth without that. No one. But we walk the road of life alone, together, and we're not making enough of the togetherness. We're isolating too much, and especially in this day and age when all of the social media, never did we have more access to each other, and never were we more isolated than we are now. And so community, we've got to get together. We've got to support each other. We've got to uplift each other. We've got to encourage each other. We've got to inspire each other. We've got to affirm each other and drop all the rest of it, because that's the only reason why you came into being and I came into being. And so we need first and foremostly to get over ourselves. And once we get over ourselves, it's so very easy to get over others. That's why today we have a seminar presented to you on forgiveness. And let me tell you, there's no one in this room that doesn't have some forgiveness work left to do yet. And while we're on this planet, we'll always have an opportunity to do that. Unforgiveness is the seminal thing that keeps us stopped and blocked from our good. It's the one thing that keeps the lid tight on the coffers of all the goodness and kindness and generosity that is within us. And unforgiveness is the one deadly thing that causes us the most harm. No one else, only ourselves. So this is a great opportunity to experience the fullness and the richness of what it is to be free enough to be able to say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive me, for I know not what I do. And we're talking about our personality, egoic human selves in that event. So wouldn't it be lovely to take care of our humanity in a way that really honors our humanity and loves up in our humanity and honors our body and honors our mind and honors our emotions and honors our great soul? Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing if every day we could do that? There was one man, and he wasn't getting it together. He was not getting it together. And he couldn't make a go of his life. And he couldn't earn a good living. And he couldn't do it. And he kept telling himself he couldn't do it. But he was fortunate enough to find one of the great metaphysicians giving a talk, a lecture, and he went in and listened to it. And that night he came home from that talk, and he looked at himself in the mirror, full-length mirror, and he said, You are You are such a super successful person. You are a high achiever. You are a magnet for all kinds of good in your life, to the point that you've so much good in your life, you have so much to give away and share. And he did that over and over and over and over again, until he really believed it, until he really felt it. And guess what? The man is a billionaire today. This is what happens when you tell yourself the truth. When you tell yourself the truth. It's not easy. It's not going to happen necessarily in 2 minutes. It could. Once in a blue moon it does. But my God, you have it within you. You have it within you to take care of all of the business of your life, all of the business of your life, no matter what it is. And you will be divinely guided and divinely directed towards the outer world and everything in the outer world that can support and help you in your healing of whatever kind it is, if you first go inward, if you first in-source whatever it is that's on your mind and weighing you down. So my dear ones, please, this is it. We haven't got, endless time on planet Earth. In fact, time she go fly. In fact, it is much shorter. No matter how long you live, it'll be shorter than you ever might imagine it would be. It's just a blink of an eye in the eternality of your life. So every moment counts. Every minute is precious. So let's take those beautiful moments and make the most of them, and depend upon the source within us to keep us centered enough not to squander any more of those moments, not to waste any more of those minutes, but to make the most of it all. And as I say, this does not mean that from here on in you will not experience blue moments, sad moments. Of course you will. Feel them and know that that's what they are. They're really real and true and you're feeling them, but they won't last. They will change, and you know that the light is going to pour through those moments at any given time, at any given moment now. This is what we know, but delve into yourself. Take that stuff you're made of and make the dough of life that produces good and only good, and plenty of it, to the point that you can indeed help anybody that comes to you looking for any kind of help. That you get up in the morning wondering, what great contribution can I make to life today? How can I lift up life today? How can I share of this great good that I have, that I know I am, that I'm feeling right now? Show me the way. Open up the way before me so that I can be all that I can be, and allow you, divine providence, to come through me and be as I'm here to be, because I want to be. I want to be what I'm created to be. I'm committed to succeeding and achieving in that before I leave this plane. And when I do, I know I can wipe the last drop of this life on planet Earth from my lips and say, it is accomplished, it is done, I'm ready for my next big adventure, bring it on. And so it is.